On this week's Real Estate Real Talk, it's a question that so many of us probably find ourselves asking. Should we buy a house or should we rent an apartment? Prices have been all over the place. Los Angeles real estate agent Carrie White joining me right now to discuss. This is a question that me and my fiance find ourselves asking as well.
Yeah, of course. Yep. A lot of us and our friends are asking the same question. And it's very popular to wonder, do I rent, do I buy, when prices are just skyrocketing on all fronts, right? So you really have to look at inflation, interest rates, your affordability to make that decision, which we can dive in a little bit more today into.
Yeah, we're going to guide people here today. You just mentioned that with rising prices, does it make more sense to rent or buy a house?
Right. Well, with prices rising, they rose 1876 for the 16th consecutive month. So with rent skyrocketing, you have to look at what your fixed mortgage rate would be and your monthly payment and how that compares to rising rents. Because if you don't have something that's locked in, you may get priced out of the rental that you're in and have to move anyways. So everyone's getting scared about not being able to live in the cities that they'd like to live in. But with rents going up, that may be something that is taken off the table if you don't get into a purchase. So it's important to look at what's going on in your micro market itself.
So when we look at this, you mentioned rents and also the cost of house going up, prices of homes going up. How much, though, have rents risen across the U.S.?
They have skyrocketed. They reached, what was the price on that? Over almost 50% they had actually risen recently, which for a lot of people dealing with the price of groceries and travel and just everything in their daily commute. I mean, I hear about the price of an egg or cherries all the time. So with that going up and rent, it's really been making things difficult for people.
So we know rent is going up, the prices of homes going up. So how can we do the math here and know which one is going to be the better choice for us?
Right. So this is a really good formula to look at when you're looking at the size. So if you want to get into, say, a one bedroom, it's going to be a little bit less than renting than your monthly payment. So if you're renting around $1,800, $1,700, your mortgage is around $1,800. But if you bump up to a two bedroom, you're really at about $2,200, $2,300. So you don't double in price just from going from a one bedroom to a two bedroom to a three bedroom. They go up exponentially. Mm-hmm. So the larger property you're looking at, it's going to be more affordable to purchase because your monthly payment is going to be lower than the price of renting. But one bedroom, sometimes people get into one bedrooms or studios just for the lack of not being able to afford something larger. But when you're looking at purchasing, you want to get into something that has a little bit more longevity to it, like a two bedroom or a three bedroom. A lot of people say, I have to have a three bedroom for kids they don't have and they're not even engaged, or, school districts and things like that. And a lot of times pushing up makes things less affordable. So get into something that works for you and your lifestyle that has a little bit more add value to it over time.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. But besides for being more affordable, what are some of the other benefits people talk about that that comes from owning over renting? I know a lot of things that I've heard is obviously your money going to your investment as opposed to renting where you're just paying someone else.
Right, that's the favorite line, why pay someone else's mortgage when you can pay your own?
Right.
The two key benefits are really payment stability and equity. And equity is stability in general is something that Americans are really craving because we've been in a world the last 2 years where we feel anything but stable with our government, the housing market, everything that's been going on, the global economy, climate change, that whole thing. So getting into a house provides you with some stability. And of course, like I was saying earlier, with inflation, you don't have to deal with being priced out of the property that you are in. Nothing feels worse than getting a knock on your door that it's time to move out because rents just went at 500, 700. And rent control is not common across the United States. You have it in some cities, but most people are subject to rent increases. So with everything going up in price, you want to get into a payment that provides stability. But even speaking further to that, when you put your money into a property, that builds equity. Then you take your down payment plus your equity, which is like free money, and you put it into another newer property to get something larger, and you eventually build your wealth and your portfolio with time.
All right. If we are buying, Carrie, we're calling you up. We're going through you for sure. Thanks, Carrie, for all your insight and tips. You guys follow her on social media, Instagram at Carrie Ann, and on YouTube, go check out her channel, Carrie White Real Estate.